Messiah, dear friends from the nation. I'll be your host, Ron Evans. Balukata Yahweh, Elohinu, Melech Haolam, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Yahweh Yile, Yahweh Shama, Yahweh Rapha, Yahweh all in all. Avinu Shabashamayis Kadesh Shemcha, Avinu Shabashayis Kadesh Shemcha, Tabo Malkotcha. Welcome back to Injiria Milele Yasha Messiah. As we go, we proceed to journey through the scriptures. Here we are in episode 26 of the book of Amos, and we will begin. Thanks for watching, our dear viewers from the whole of the world. Welcome back again. The book of Amos, chapter number 1, verse number 1. The words of Amos, who was among the herdsmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, sovereign of Yehuda, and in the days of Jeroboam, son of Joash, sovereign of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, Yahweh rose from Zion and gives forth his voice from Jerusalem, and the pastures of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressors of Damascus, and for 4 I do not turn it back, because they thrashed Gilead with threshing implements of iron. But I shall send fire upon the house of Azrael, and it shall consume the palaces of the Hadad, and they shall break off the bow of Damascus, and cut off the inhabitant of the valley and of Aven, and the one who holds the scepter of the Beth Eden. And the people of Aram shall go exile to kill, said Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Azal, and for 4, and I do not turn it back, because they took into exile the entire exile to surrender it to Edom. And I shall send fire upon the wall of Azza, and it shall consume its palaces, and they shall cut off the inhabitant of Ashdod, and the one who holds the scepter from Ashkelon. And I shall turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Perishites shall perish, says the Master Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Saul, and 4 I do not turn it back, because they surrendered an entire exile to Edom, and did not remember the brotherly covenant. But I shall send fire to come upon the wall of Soal, and it shall consume its palaces. Thus says the Master Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and 4 I do not turn it back, because he pursued his brothers with the sword, and cast off all compassion, and his repressure to incendiary, and he kept his wrath forever. But I shall send fire upon Temran, and it consumed the palaces of Bosra. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and 4 I do not turn it back, because they ripped open the pregnant women in Gilead to enlarge their border. So I shall kind of fire upon the wall of Rabbah, and it shall consume the palaces with a shout in the day of battle, with a storm in the day of whirlwind, and the sovereign shall go into exile, and his heads together, says the Master Yahweh. Amos chapter number 2, verse number 1. That says the Master Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and 4 I do not turn it back, because of the band of the bones of the sovereign of Edom to line. But I shall send a fire upon Moab, and it shall consume the palaces of Kerioth, and Moab shall lead amid uproar by the cry, and the sounds of the lamb horn, and it shall cut off the judge from the midst, and slay all its heads with him, and says Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Yehuda, and 4 I do not turn it back, because they have rejected the Torah of Yahweh, and did not guard his laws in their lies, after which their fathers walked and lead them astray. But I shall send fire upon Yehuda, and it shall consume the palaces of Jerusalem. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Israel, for 4 I do not turn it back, because they sell the righteousness of silver, and the poor for a pair of sandal, who crushed the head of the poor ones in the dust of the earth, and turn aside the way of which the meek and the man and his father go into the same girl, to the same girl, to defile my Kodesh name. And they lie down by every altar of garment, and taken in pledge in the house of every mighty one of the drink of the wine of those who have been fined. Yet I destroyed the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was as strong as the oaks. And I destroyed his fruit from above, and his roots from beneath. And I brought you up from the land of Midian, and led you for 40 years through the wilderness, to possess the land of the Amorite. And I raised up some of your sons and women, some of your young men, and Nazarites, not so. O you children of Israel, declares Yahweh, but you made the Nazarite drink wine, and commanded Nevim, saying, do not Nabah, see, I went down you, and a wagon is weighed down and filled with sheaves. And a priest shall perish from the swift, and the strong not strengthen his power, and the mighty not save his life. And he who handles the bow not stand, and the swift of foot not save, nor he who rides on a horse save his life. But the bravest among the mightiest naked in that day declares Yahweh. Amos chapter number 3, verse number 1. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, children of Israel, against the entire clan which I brought out from the land of Mizraim. You alone have I known the clans of all there, therefore I punish you of all the wickedness. You who two walk together without having met. Does a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? Does a young lion give forth his voice out of the den unless he has caught? Does a bird fall into a snare, the earth where there is no trap for it? Does a snare spring up for the earth, and it has no captured a prey? If a lamb's horn is blown into the city, the people will not tremble. If there is a calamity in the city, shall not Yahweh have done it? For Yahweh, Master Yahweh, does the matter unless he reveals his secret to his servants, the Nevi'im. A lion has roared, who is not afraid? The Adon Yahweh has spoken, who will not Nabah? Cry out in the parishes of Ashur and the parishes of the land of Mizraim. Say, gather the mountains of Shomelon, and see the many unrest in the Hamidis, and the oppressed ones within her, but they do not know to do what is right, declares the Master Yahweh. These who store a plunder and root in their parishes. Therefore, that says the Adon Yahweh, an enemy even around the land, and he shall bring down the strength from you, and the parishes shall be plundered. That says Yahweh. As the shepherd rescues from the mouth of a lion 2 legs and a piece of an ear, so are the children of Israel who dwell in the Shomelon to be rescued in the corner of a bed and in the meskin on a couch. Hear and the witness against the house of Jacob, declares the Master Yahweh, the Elohim of hosts. In the day I visit Israel, for their transgression I shall worship punish concerning altars of Bethel, and the horns of the altar shall be broken, and they shall fall to the ground, and they shall smite the winter house along the summer house, and the houses of ivory shall perish, and the great houses shall be swept away, declares the Master Yahweh. Amos chapter number 4, verse number 1. Hear this word, you cows of Bashan, who are on the mountain of Shomeron, who are oppressing the poor, who are crushing the needy, who are saying to their masters, bring wine and let us drink. And the Adon Yahweh has sown by them his Kodeshah. See, the days are coming, and when we shall take away your hooks, and you descendants with fish hooks, and let you go into the breaches, each woman before her, and you shall cast out toward Hammon, declares Yahweh. Come to Bethel and transgress to Gilgal, increase transgression, and bring your slaughterings every morning, your tithes every 3 days, and burn an offering and thanksgiving with women, proclaim voluntary offerings loudly, for you have loved this, you your children of Israel, declares the Adon Yahweh. And I also gave you cleanness of teeth in all your cities, and lack of bread in all your places, but you did not turn back to me, declares Yahweh. I also withheld rain from you 3 months before the harvest, then will send rain on one city, on another city. Would I not send rain? One part was rain upon, and where it did not rain, the part would be dry. The 2 or 3 cities would wander to one another, the city drink water, but they were not satisfied, but you did not turn back to me, declares the Master Yahweh. Have I smitten you with blight and with mildew? The creeping locusts devoured you, many gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees and your olive trees, but you did not turn back to me, declares Yahweh. I have sent among you a plague in the way of Mizraim. I have slain your young men with a sword, and along with the captured the horses, and I have made the stretch out of your camps come into your nostrils, but you did not turn back to me, declares Yahweh. I have drawn some of you as Elohim drew Sodom and Gomorrah, and were like the firebrand plucked from the burning, but did not turn back to me, declares Yahweh. Therefore, I am doing this to you, O Israel, and because you do this to you, prepare to meet your Elohim, O Israel. For look, he who forms the mountains and creates the wind and declares the man what is his thought and makes the morning darkness, and who treads the high places of the earth. Yahweh Elohim of hosts is his name. Hosea chapter number 5, verse number 1. Hear this word which I take up against you. This lamentation, O house of Israel, the maiden of Israel has fallen and not risen again. She lies forsaken of her land with no one to lift her. For that says the Master Yahweh, the city that goes out by 1,000 has 100 left, and that goes out by 100 as 10 left to the house of Israel. For that says Yahweh, to the house of Israel, seek me and live, but do not seek Bethel, nor enter Gilgal, nor pass over the Beersheba, for Gilgal shall certainly go into exile, Bethel to come to north. Seek Yahweh and live. Lest he break out the fire from fire upon the house of Joseph, and shall consume it with no one to quench it in Bethel, on you, who are turning right roaring on homeward, and have cast down the righteousness to the earth, he who made Kima and Kesil, and who turns the shadow of the death in the morning and the darkened and day and into night, who is pouring in the waters of the seas and pours them out of the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name, who is flashing forth destruction from the strong, and that the destruction comes upon the stronger. They hated the one who reproves in the gate, and they despise the one who speaks in truth. Therefore, because the temple, you trample on the poor and take grain taxes from him. You have built houses and hill stones, but you are not going to dwell in them. You have planted trees and vineyards, but you are not. But you drink from but not drink wine from them. For I know your transgressions and many, and your sins are great, afflicting your righteous, accepting bribes, and turning aside the poor at the gate. Therefore, the wise keep silent at that time, for it is evil time. Seek good and not evil, so that you live. And let Yahweh Elohim of hosts be with you, as you have spoken. Hate evil and love good, and establish right ruling in the gate. And it might be that Yahweh Elohim of hosts shows favor to the remnant of yourself. Therefore, Yahweh Elohim of hosts, Yahweh say this: there is waiting in all open squares and in the streets. So they say, arise, arise! I shall call the farmer to the morning, and shall skill the mentors to airing, and in all the vineyards there is wearing, and I shall pass through your midst, says the Master. Woe to you, you are wronging the day of Yahweh. That what goes the day of Yahweh mean to you? It is darkness and not light. And when the man flees from a lion and bear shall meet him, all entered his house and rested his hand in the wall, and a serpent shall bite him. In not the day of Yahweh, darkness and not light. Is it not the very dark with no brightness in it? I have hated and I have despised your festivals, and I am not pleased with your assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your grain offering, I do not accept them, nor do I look after your fattened peace offerings. Take away from me the noise of your songs, for I do not hear the sound of your stringed instruments, and let the right roaring roll. Unlike the waters in righteousness, like a mighty stream, you brought me slaughterings of meal offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, O house of Israel. But you took up Sikkoth, your sovereign of Kion, and Zaidos, and your stray mighty ones, which you made for yourself. Therefore, I shall send you into exile beyond the mess, says Yahweh, Elohim of hosts is his name. Amos chapter number 6, verse number 1, and the word of Yahweh says, Woe to those who eat Zion, and those who trusting in Mount Shomelon, the disguised ones among the chief of the nation, to whom the house of Israel comes and pass over the Chaldean and see from there, go to Hamath the great, then go down to Gad of the Perishites. And are you better than the rains? Or is their border greater than your border? You who are putting off the day of evil, yet bring near the seat of the violence, who are lying on the beasts of ivory and stretched out of your couches, and are eating the lambs from the flock and calves from the midst of the walls, who sing idly to the sound of the harp, having composed of songs for themselves like the wind, who are drinking wine from the bowls and anoint themselves with ointments, yet they have not grieved over the breach of yourself. Therefore they shall go now into exile, the first of the exile, and the feasting of the stretched out one shall cease. The Adon Yahweh has sown by himself. Yahweh Elohim of hosts declares, I am loathing the pride of Yaakov, and I have hated his palaces. Therefore I shall deliver up the city and that is in it. And it shall be that if then the men remain in one house, they shall die. And if the relative of his undertaker brings the remains out of the house, then he shall say, on one side inside the house, if anyone with you, and he says no, then he shall say, hush, for we have not remembered the name of Yahweh. For look, Yahweh is commanding, and he shall smite the great house of the breaches of the little house of its cleft. The horses run on a log, does the one plough it with oxen, For you have turned the right ring into poison, and the fruit of righteousness into wormwood. You who are rejoicing over a matter of note, who say, we have not taken horns of ourselves by our own strength. For look, I am raising up a nation against you, house of Israel, declares Yahweh Elohim of hosts, and they shall oppress you from the entrance of the Hamad to the Wadi Araba. Amos chapter number 7, verse number 1. This is what the Master Yahweh showed me. And see, he was forming rocker songs at the beginning of the red crop, and see, it was on the red crop after the mowings of the sovereign. And it came to be, when they had finished eating the grass of the land, they said, O Adonai Yahweh, forgive, I pray. How does Yaakov survive, for he is small? Yahweh relented concerning this. It shall not be, says Yahweh. That is what the Adon Yahweh showed me, and see, the Adon Yahweh was scoring to contend by the fire, and it consumed the great deep and devoured the portion. And I said, O Adonai Yahweh, please stop. How does Yaakov survive? He is small. And Yahweh relented concerning this. This shall not be either, says the Adon Yahweh. This is what he showed me. And see, Yahweh stood on a wall made of a plumb line, with a plumb line in his hand. And Yahweh said to me, Amos, what do you see? And I said, a plumb line. And Yahweh said, see, I am putting a plumb line in the midst of my people Israel. No longer do I pardon them. And the high places of Isaac shall be laid waste, and Mikdashim of Israel shall be destroyed. And I shall rise with the sword against the house of Jeroboam. Then Amaziah the Kohen of Bethel sent Jeroboam sovereign of Israel, saying, Amos has conspired against you in the midst of the house of Israel. The land is not able to endure all his words. For this is what Amos has said, Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel certainly be exiled from their own land. And Amaziah said to Amos, go you seer, free into the land of Yehuda, and eat the bread and Nabah there, but not Nabah anymore at Bethel, for it is the sovereigns of Mikdash, and this is the house of the lane, the house of the lane. And Amos answered and said, O to Amaziah, I am not a Nabi, nor I am a son of a Nabi, for I am a husband and a grower of sycamore figs, but Yahweh took me from behind the flocks, and Yahweh said to me, go Nabah to my people Israel, and now hear the word of Yahweh. You are saying, do not Nabah against Israel, and not preach against the house of Isaac. Therefore thus says Yahweh, your wife shall become a whore in the city of your sons and daughters, fall by the sword, and you are run and divided by a measuring line, and you die in the defiled land, and Israel shall certainly be exiled from this land. Amos chapter number 8, verse number 3, the word of Yahweh says, this is what the Adon Yahweh showed me. And see, a basket of summer fruit. And he said, Amos, what do you see? And I said, a basket of summer fruit. And Yahweh said to me, the end has come upon my people Israel. No longer do I pardon them, and the songs of the Hekal shall be wailing in that day. Declares the Master Yahweh, many dead bodies everywhere, thrown into any place hush. Hear this, you who are sorrowing up the needy, to do away with the poor of the land, saying, when does the new moon pass, so that we shall we sell grain, and after the Sabbath, so that we trade and over wheat, and to make the ephah small and the ephah the shekel large, and to falsify the scales of deceit, to buy the poor for silver, and the needy to repair sandals, and sell the chaff of wheat Yahweh has sown by the excellency of Jacob. I shall never forget any of your works. Shall the land not tremble for this, and everyone mourn who dwells in it, and all of it shall swell like the river Hiv, and subsided like the river of Mizraim. And it shall be in that day, declares the Master Yahweh, that I shall cause the sun to go down at noon, and shall darken the earth on a day brightness, and shall turn the festival into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation, and bring sackcloth and all loins and baldness on every head, and shall make it on mourning for on an only son, and it end like day of bitterness. See, the days are coming, declares the Master Yahweh, that I shall send hunger in the land, and not hunger for bread, nor that of water, for hearing the words of Yahweh. And they shall wander from the sea to sea, and from the north of east, and they shall diligently search, seeking the word of Yahweh, but they shall not find it. In that day, the plaintive maidens and the strong young men shall faint from thirst, those swearing by the guilt of the Shomerah, who say, as your mighty one reaps, O Dan, and thus they weigh of their Shebarim, and they shall fall and never rise again. Amos chapter number 9, verse number 1. The word of Yahweh says, I saw Yahweh standing by the altar, and he says, smite the column head, so that the threshold shake, and break them off by the head. And all of them, and the rest of them I slay with the sword, no one of them fleeing the gates away, and not one fugitive of the one of them escapes in the, if they dig into the grave from there, my hand takes them, and if they climb up into the IMYM, from there I bring them down. And if they hide themselves on the top of Carmel, from there I shall search and take them. And if they hide from before my eyes at the bottom of the sea, from there I shall command the serpent, and it shall bite them. And if they go into captivity before the enemies, from there I shall command the sword, and it shall slay them, and they shall lay my eyes on them for evil and not for good. Adon Yahweh says of hosts, says, he who touches the earth so that it melts, and all who dwell in it mourn, and all who come up like the river and subdue like the river of Mizraim, who is building his upper room in the IMYM, and he has founded his firmament on the earth, who is calling for the waters of the sea and pours them out of the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name. And you are like the people of Cush to me, O children of Israel, declares Yahweh. Did I not bring you, Israel, from the land of Mizraim, and the Perishites from Captor and from Kir? Look, the eyes of the Adon Yahweh are on the sinful ring, and they shall destroy from the face of the earth. Expect that I do not completely destroy the house of Jacob, declares Yahweh. For look, I am commanding, and I shall sift the house of Israel among the Gentiles, as one sift up the sieve, yet not a grain falls on the ground, and all the sinners of my people are going to die. By the sword, those who are saying evildoers will not overtake no meters. In the day I shall raise up the booth of David which has fallen down, and I shall repair its breaches and right its ruins, and they shall build it as in the days of old, so that they possess the remnant of Edom and all the Gentiles of whom my name is called, declares Yahweh who does this. Look, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the trader of the grapes, and of him who sows the seed, and the mountain shall drip new wine, and all the hills melt, and they shall turn back the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities in the inhabitant of them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink wine from them, and shall make gardens and eat their fruit, and they shall plant them on their own land, and not uproot them anymore from their own land. I have given them, says the Yahweh, you are Elohim. We have come to the end of the book of Amos, Nabi Amos, and all esteem to Yahweh. Thanks for watching Injili ya Milele ya Yahshua Messiah. May Yahweh do you good and barak you. Make sure you subscribe, you share, you comment, and also don't forget to like, and also to hit the subscription button. Yahweh do you good. Thank for viewers. That will have been the book of Amos. I've been your host, Ezron Evans. It has been pressure to be with you. May Yahweh do you good.